Webheads, Chip Zdarsky is making a splash on this week's Top 10 Most Anticipated. Hey, all my webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, I am your host, Mike Spiderslayer, always helping you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And today, guys, I'm bringing you my top 10 most anticipated comic books for May 19th. This is 2021. That's right, guys. It's never too early to start that pull list for next week. And hopefully, like I said, this list helps you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And this is a companion series to the new series I just released, which is called Buy Those Comics. You're going to want to check that out during the weekend as I give you a whole rundown of all the comics that are coming out for this particular comic book week. All right, guys, so before we get started, also, if you want to give this video a thumbs up, a subscription, and hitting the bell so you don't miss any content from me, go ahead and do that. And don't forget, at one point during another, please leave a comment so you can get entered in my Road to 10K X-Men giveaway. All right, guys, so let's kick off this week's countdown with the hot seat. Now, I read the first issue and it was okay. Now I'm going to read the second issue and we're going to see what happens with that one to see if I continue with Heroes Reborn issue 3. Okay, this book is 40 pages. The price tag of this one is $5. Now, Jason Aaron's first issue of Heroes Reborn actually caught my interest. Was it a perfect book? Absolutely not. Was it a little cheesy? Absolutely yes. Is it meant to be written cheesy? I think so. Was it a little bit all over the place? A little bit. But it was still kind of cool in many ways, seeing all these different characters and how the Avengers, they did a good job at explaining the story, how the Avengers are nowhere to be found and things like that. So this book definitely piqued my interest. So we're going to see how it continues. I'm holding out on these tie-ins quite a bit. But when it comes to the main series, we'll see what happens after I read issue 2 to see if I pick up issue 3. So that's it. Heroes Reborn, issue 3. We'll see what happens, guys. All right, next, coming in at number 10. This one goes to the Immortal Hulk Time of Monsters, issue 1. So I'm pretty sure this is a one-shot. And Al Ewing does write this book, and what he claims is he's introducing the original Hulk. So here's the description that it has. 10,000 years ago, something green and glowing comes to poison the ancient ground of the Fertile Crescent and the hearts of its people. One boy is left to bear the consequences and for the first time to open the green door. Plus, Bruce Banner faces a challenge unlike any he has seen before as writer David Vaughn makes his Marvel debut. So I maybe this guy's writing it too. I don't know. So for whatever reason, we have an original Hulk that's coming out that was around 10,000 years ago, and he saw this green door. I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. Could this be something of importance in the future when it comes to the Hulk in general? We'll see. So if you might want to think that this could be a particular spec book, or if you're just interested in this story in general, pick this book up. 36 pages, $5. All right, next, my number 9 most anticipated. This one goes to The Amazing Spider-Man issue 66. So this is on the other side of King's Ransom. So basically that's, I guess, coming to an end. Spider-Man's left to pick up the pieces. If he can manage to put them together, he's going to be horrified with what he finds. So if you're following legacy numbering, this is 867. This is continuing from the giant size Amazing Spider-Man King Ransom, like I said. And this is the issue before the whole chameleon conspiracy situation that's getting ready to come out. I personally have not been a fan of Nick Spencer's run of Amazing Spider-Man. It's very lackluster to me. I don't think there's really anything at stake for Spider-Man. That's been my whole problem. It's been a complete stall. However, I will always read Spider-Man. The character is it's just one of those books I will never drop. And I always anticipate an issue that's coming out, right? It's very rare, though, that it has not been on this list, but it's getting close to getting out of there because I just have not been enjoying it all that much. All right, next, coming in at number 8, we have Bounty Hunters, Star Wars Bounty Hunters issue 12. This is prelude to the War of the Bounty Hunters. And let me tell you, I read War of the Bounty Hunters prelude this particular comic book week, and that book was awesome. If you like Boba Fett as a character and you want some Boba Fett goodness, read that book because it gets you excited for the event of Han Solo trying to deliver deliver Han Solo to Jabba, right? And what happened in that book was awesome. Like, he had to fight against monsters, he had to earn credits to fix Han Solo's carbonite before it turned into goo, and the whole thing happened at the end of it. I say pick this up. I think you're going to enjoy it. But when it comes to this, I think this is going to be a good story. It's just going to be a lot of issues, though, guys. All right. So this one is 32 pages, $4. All right. Next, moving on to number 7. We have Fantastic Four Life Story. This is issue 1. This is a new story arc from Chip Zdarsky, okay? So you're going to see a lot of Chip Zdarsky getting ready to come out here. So we're going to see Chip Zdarsky write how he did Spider-Man Life Story, right? How the Fantastic Four age in real time. So I think that's going to be pretty cool, and you get to see some of their major adventures or major time periods. And if it's written just like, Spider-Man Life Story, I'm on board for this. And I think this could be a really good read. Awesome book. I think this is going to be 32 pages, $4. So next, we are moving on to number 6. Number 6 goes to the Return of Stillwater. This is issue 7, another Chip Zdarsky book. So the town of Stillwater is a place where you go if you don't want to die, if you don't want to age, or if you get killed, you come back to life, right? However, this town is a secret and nobody knows about it except for the people that live in Stillwater. Well, based off of the events that happened in issue 6, man, it was kind of crazy, and it'll be interesting to see how things pick up from here and if Stillwater actually gets exposed to the outside world and if people actually take it over or pick apart those people. I don't know, man. There's a lot of story I feel to be told here, and we'll see where it goes, man. So this is great. 32 pages, $4. It's been a while. Looking forward to it. All right. Moving on to number 5. This one goes to Daredevil. This is issue 30. So this is called Doing Time Part 2. So Elektra is still trying to get her bearings in Hell's Kitchen. Matt Murdock is, in prison. He's been stabbed. He's been beat up. And he's finding an ally to help him in there as well. And the cool thing about this series right now is Daredevil has taken a young female under her wing and is basically training her. So we saw her first, I think, in the King in Black issue, which is, I think, issue 28 or 27. And she's been in that book ever since, and Elektra now is training her. So she could be the next sidekick, the next Elektra, or I don't know, but I feel like this character has some significance. So this is why I think you should be picking up Daredevil at this point because of that character if you're interested in specking. But overall, this story has been phenomenal along with great artwork here. All right, next, moving on to number 4, we have Radiant Black issue 4. So this book is pretty damn good. I think the action is going to pick up when it comes to Radiant Black now. It looks like he's going to be going against Radiant Red, which we saw at the end of the first issue, which was the character that robbed the bank. And I'm still curious to see if there's going to be other Radiant characters out there that come together and fight crime or whatnot. But this book has been great, and I love seeing the character growth of our main character. His name slipped my mind at this point, and his friend is kind of like his manager / sidekick trying to help him out. But I love how, again, our main character is so relatable when it comes to the everyday job situation and trying to make it on his own, because, how are you going to make money being a superhero, right? He's still got to be a writer, and he's still got to find things to write. So I think this is a great book, and the artwork is really good too. So we'll see what happens when it comes to Radiant Black. So this one's 28 pages, $4. All right, next, coming in at number 3. This is a book that I think a lot of you fans have been waiting for out there. This is Wonder Girl. This is issue 1. There's quite a few variants for this one, so pick your choice when it comes to these. But Yara Flor was the, I guess, most highly anticipated character when it came to Future State, and her book was pretty darn good, and the artwork was pretty darn good too. Now, I felt like her Future State issue kind of ended abruptly, as she lost a sister, and it was just like, oh, but my unicorn friend is here, or my unicorn Pegasus, and it was kind of like, oh, it was kind of dark how it ended, and then you're happy because you see your Pegasus. But nevertheless, the character herself is gorgeous, and I think she has got real spunk, and and I think a lot of people will get her humor, and I think this Wonder Woman is a more relatable character, as Diana is that more serious character. So I'm looking forward to this one. I think this one's going to be a lot of fun. 32 pages, $4. All right. Coming in at number 2, and you might be surprised this is not number 1. This goes to Nightwing issue 80. This is called Leaping into the Light Part 3. So we have Dick Grayson, and he's with Barbara Gordon, and they're kind of working together in this series. Dick Grayson inherited a ton of money from Alfred, which is awesome. So it makes him, I guess, the richest Bat character in the Bat family right now, because he's literally a billionaire. Like, it was said that he was a billionaire. Last issue, you got to see him trying to make a decision on what he wants to do with his money, and he's decided that he wants to help the community, which was pretty cool, and it all started with him ordering pizza. I think Tom Taylor's already doing a great job with this book, adding a lot of great character beats into the story. And he's got a dog now, which is kind of cool, named Haley. And we already got introduced to a new villain. So, and that villain's name, I think, is called Heartless, if I remember correctly. And it looks like he rips hearts out of people's bodies. And it's kind of funny how we have a Robin book out there that we have a character by the name of Flatline, and she ripped the heart out of this Robin's, Damian's body. Coincidental, isn't it? So wouldn't it be funny if Flatline is Heartless's daughter? That would be kind of weird. Be kind of a stretch, but it would be weird since they kind of do the same thing. That just popped in my head out of the blue like that. But overall, going back to this book is really good. And I think that even if you're not a Nightwing fan, I think you might enjoy this story. And if you're looking for quality, reading, I think this is it. I think this is where you're going to find it, is in Nightwing issue 80. So, or in the Nightwing series in general. So this one is 32 pages, and this is $4. All right, guys. But last but not least, what is my number 1 comic book out there coming out for next week? Well, that one goes to Stray Dogs issue 4. This is the penultimate issue. It's only 5 issues, unfortunately, and the only reason why this is my number 1 is because I'm such a dog person, and I love always trying to figure out what a dog is thinking, and this particular series does that, right? I mean, it's got a bunch of dogs that are trying to solve a crime. They realize that their master is no good. They're finding dead people buried in the ground. At least that's what you think so. And then you're also finding women's clothing in a particular room. You're finding pictures of the dog's former owners, and you're seeing everything starting to come together and all these dogs figuring it out. But what makes this book so weird at the same time but cool is that the animation, or not the animation, but the artwork in here just reminds you of a Disney movie. So it's like a sick and twisted Disney movie. That's basically what it is. But it's so good and it's so well written and it has you at the edge of your seat. So that's why this is my most anticipated for this particular week. And guys, in the comments below, now I want to know, what are your most anticipated comics for this particular comic book week? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, guys, like I said, give this video a like, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell. Check out my new series called Buy Those Comic Books as I run down the entire week's worth of comics getting ready to come out so you don't forget what to pick up for that week. And guys, thank you so much for watching and enjoy those comics.